Hi guys, Ace here, and guess what? I have a SketchBox GrabBox here. Yes, isn't it lovely? So I was on the SketchBox website because I was signing up for SketchBox for next month. Spoiler alert, I have a SketchBox coming next month that I'm gonna peruse, and I went into their shop stupidly and saw this SketchBox GrabBox, where you can get past art supplies, I believe. It's a random blind box for $65 in their shop, and yeah, I like to make my bank account sad, and this certainly helped. So, without further ado, let's cut this bad boy open. So apparently Sketchboxes come with a sticker, much like the Scrawler box did. So these are my favorite inking pens. You've seen them before, zebra signing pens, in a medium tip, I believe this one was. This is a Zig pen. I had no idea when I opened it what it was, but I was excited. I like Zig brushables and Kuretake, so these look like the pencils that my dad, who is a contractor, uses on jobs. And they came with no pencil sharpener. So yeah, sharpening these was an adventure, and by adventure I mean an exercise in nearly cutting my hand off. Because look doesn't it look like there should be a pencil sharpener in this container? Well, there is not. And next we have a Premo charcoal drawing set, which has all kinds of fun goodies in it. And then, oh, this is a mechanical eraser, a Tombow mechanical eraser. It's like a mechanical pencil, but when you click it, it spits out more eraser. It's a very, very fine eraser, which, I mean, was okay for my purposes, but was sort of annoying to use. And this was this is cool. This is a no bleed notebook. So whatever product you put on it is not supposed to bleed through the pages. You can always use both sides. And it actually ends up working pretty well. This is an India Ink pen. Higgins India Ink is what I use in my dip pen. This is just a pen with a bullet nib full of India ink. Then, oh, these are Derwent graphic drawing pencils in HB 2B, 4B, 6B, I believe, were the different grades. This is some yellow gouache, which I was really surprised they tossed a tube of gouache in there, but it's a tube of yellow gouache. I forget the brand. And these are Color markers, and I was super duper excited when I saw these twin markers because I thought they had brush tips, and I was so excited. I was like, oh, we can add this to my list of comparison videos because it's alcohol-based ink and it's got a brush tip. But I was sorely disappointed when I opened it and discovered that it does not have a brush tip. It has a bullet tip and a chisel. This is an Uchida Plume brush marker, which I already did a review on the Uchida Plume markers. It was my last Saturday review. Here we have some Faber-Castell Art Grip watercolor pencils in red, and originally I thought that was blue, but after using it I'm 100% certain it's actually purple. But at the time, it looked very blue to me. It looks blue on screen even now as I'm editing this. Another random little inking pen, brush pen. This one, the ink was like grayish. I don't think it was black ink. It was like gray ink. And this one is a purple Zig Art and Graphic marker, I believe. Dual-ended. It has a bullet end and a brush end, and it has water-based ink in it. But yeah, so that's the haul for this box, and I will move into testing them out, I guess, and seeing how they sort of react with each other and play with each other. And water, I'm definitely adding water, because I mean, I'm using gouache at this point, so I feel like water is sort of a requirement. But yeah, here's me just messing around, opening packaging, drawing things on top of each other, seeing if anything smudges or makes any cool effects, applying water as necessary to test out the watercolor pencils and the gouache. And that water-based marker, I've seen other people use water to sort of get shading with water-based markers, so I tried that out to see how it reacted, and I figured out how to sharpen one of those pencils using my knife, because I didn't have a pencil sharpener that would take this weird pencil thing that they gave me. It was a great time. And then after that, it will be on to the speed paint. So I guess I will leave you to see what I came up with. So here is the finished piece. Believe it or not, it took me probably 2 or 3 days to decide on what I was going to do. And the funniest part of the whole thing is that the first thing I thought when I finished swatching all these colors and playing with them is that I had the perfect colors to make a sunset. But I didn't want to do a sunset because, well, what am I going to do with the rest of the stuff I have? How am I going to make the sunset work? So I was trying to come up with something else. I couldn't think of anything else. So then I eventually decided, oh well, too bad. I'm just going to do the sunset. So then I decided I would do some kind of like silhouetted foreground thing. And I couldn't decide what to do for the foreground. And yeah, so don't judge me for my weebness, but it's definitely the Paupu Island on the Destiny Islands from Kingdom Hearts, complete with little Paupus. See, right here, little Paupus. I couldn't help it. I wanted to do, it's something tropical leapt into my head, probably because of the color palette. So then I thought of Kingdom Hearts because I'm that person. So I had to do the Paupu Island, and there's the little Paupus. But anyway, so I used as much of the stuff as I possibly could. I didn't use every single thing, I don't think. But obviously, all of the colored stuff is in the background, and these sort of inking pens I used in the foreground for the really dark shadows and really precise lines, like the stems on the tree, and the fronds, I guess, on the tree. And then, oh yes, so I added some tools because they didn't give me a brush for the gouache. So I ended up using my flat brush and my round brush. And then, so I haven't used charcoal literally since high school, when we did a unit on charcoal for like a literal hot second. So I had pretty much no idea what I was doing going into this. And so I grabbed this blending tool because I thought that I remembered using one of like a paper stick in high school. And these I use when I do colored pencil and use Gamsol to blend. I have a couple of these. So I grabbed it and some sandpaper to sand it with, because I just was not getting the blends that I wanted with my hands and fingers. Even though you could see from earlier when I was waving my hands around, I definitely tried to use my fingers. It just did not work out the way I wanted it to. The blending stick, much better option. So I sort of cheated, I guess. I added a couple of tools, but I didn't really want to finger paint the gouache. I knew I wasn't going to get anything even approaching something blendable, because I would basically have thick nonsense paint on it. But, oh, also, right, the paper. So they didn't give me a big sheet of paper, so here, I'll free this from the board. But the big sheet of paper I used is my Arches Aquarelle paper, which is what I do most of my watercoloring on, because I knew I was going to add water and I was going to use that gouache and stuff. So I knew I was going to need some paper that could handle some water. And that little book, it really didn't blend through on that, or bleed through, on that little book. So that little book of paper was really cool and did what it said it was going to do. I just couldn't use it for an actual like finished piece of artwork. I wasn't feeling it. But anyway, so yeah, here's the finished piece. I guess it was definitely an adventure. It was an experience. And I might go into using charcoal again. I'm not sure. It was definitely a bunch of art supplies that I would not have chosen because I don't own charcoal. I don't use charcoal. But it was definitely interesting. I definitely would never have thought to put these things together. And like I said, the only reason I did this picture the way I did and what I did was because all I could think was, oh, those are the colors you need to make a sunset. And I kind of just went with it. But anyway, yeah, so if you liked this speed paint and watching me struggle with an amalgam of random art things, please comment below. Let me know if you want me to do more boxes. Spoiler alert, like I said in the beginning, I do have a sketch box coming next month along with my scrawler box, so you will see at least one more sketch box, and the regular standard scrawler box will be back next month. But if there's anything else that you'd like to see, I am on the schedule now, tentative schedule of posting sort of challenges and speed paints and experiments and fun arty things on Wednesdays. These sort of monthly boxes and reviews on Saturdays, and then bullet journal updates on Sundays. So if there's anything that you particularly like or you would like to see in the future, please don't hesitate to let me know. And I guess if you would like to subscribe, that would be great. Or, you know, maybe just give this video a like. That would also be equally as great. Share if you like. Wait, that was share if you would like. I would really appreciate it. Helps out my channel, gets me a little bit more attention, which I always like. But otherwise, I guess that's all I have for you today. I will be back tomorrow with a bullet journal update. So I guess I will talk to all of you soon. Bye bye.